news began in a whisper that was barely audible at first, but within hours turned into a huge wave that shook the Korean entertainment world and the global fan community. BTS's Jungkook and ASTRO's Cha Eunwoo's names suddenly became the center of a heated discussion after rumors circulated that Cha Eunwoo was under the public spotlight regarding tax money matters, a sensitive topic that always sparks emotions, speculation, and chain reactions. Amid a whirlpool of rumors, media pressure, and increasingly wild public comments, one simple but powerful fact slowly comes to the fore. Jungkook remains standing by Cha Eunwoo's side, encouraging in a calm, sincere, and meaningful way. Illustration: Jungkook and Cha Eunwoo in a formal setting, without text. That morning, the Korean media was filled with curiosity-inducing headlines. The word tax stands next to Cha Eunwoo's name, provoking mixed interpretations from netizens. Some panicked, some angry, some chose to wait for clarity. But one thing is for sure: the glare of cameras and journalists' pens do not give pause. Cha Eunwoo, who has been known for his clean, polite, and professional image, suddenly became a hot topic on the editorial desk, online forums, to international fan chat groups. At the same time, Jungkook, who is also under public pressure because of his status as a global icon, did not join the stream of negative comments. Quite the contrary, he chose a different path. According to close sources, Jungkook conveyed moral support in private, without a big stage, without a press conference, without sensational statements. This attitude actually made the public even more curious. What exactly did Jungkook say? Why does that support mean so much to Cha Eunwoo? Picture illustration. Cha Eunwoo walks out of the building with a calm expression. Without text, news of Jungkook's support began to spread from small circles. An entertainment industry staffer mentioned that Jungkook contacted Cha Eunwoo with a short but empathetic message. He does not touch on technical details, does not judge, and does not participate in concluding anything. All he did was remind one important thing: that the storm of public opinion always passes, and the integrity of a person is not determined by one issue that is not necessarily the whole truth. That simple sentence, according to those closest to him, became Cha Eunwoo's grip on hard days. As the media continued to hunt for comments, as fans were torn between anxiety and anger, Cha Eunwoo chose silence, focus, and cooperation. He entrusted clarifications to official channels, while personally he calmed down with the support of people who really understand the pressures of life as a public figure. That's where Jungkook's role feels real, not as a big celebrity, but as a peer who understands the weight of the world's spotlight. Picture illustration. Jungkook sitting alone in the rehearsal room, reflective atmosphere, no text. The public response has also changed. If at the beginning this issue provoked hubbub, a few days later the tone of the conversation begins to soften. Many fans highlighted Jungkook's maturity in attitude. They see it as an example of solidarity rarely seen in the often competitive entertainment industry. Instead of keeping a distance for the sake of image, Jungkook chose to approach humanly. Industry observers rate this moment as an important portrait of how the idols of the new generation are dealing with sensitive issues. Jungkook's support was not defensive or provocative. It does not refute or confirm rumors. It only strengthens the mentality of a person who is being tested. This attitude, according to analysts, actually adds to public confidence that there is emotional maturity behind the glitter of the K-pop stage. Meanwhile, Cha Eunwoo himself slowly resumed his professional activities. He is present within the established schedule, greets politely, and maintains an attitude. No exaggerated gestures, no drama. Each of his steps seemed to convey an unspoken message, that he respected the process and believed in the truth that would find its own way. Image illustration. Cha Eunwoo greets fans with a slight smile. No text. On social media, ARMY and Aroha, two big fandoms, found a rare common ground. Instead of attacking each other, many reinforce each other. Hashtags of support have sprung up, not to judge, but to calm. Jungkook's name is referred to not as a savior, but as a friend who is present at the right time. Cha Eunwoo's name was mentioned not as an object of rumor, but as a human being undergoing an examination. Increasingly, the story of Jungkook's message became symbolic. Symbol that behind numbers, contracts, and highlights, There are simple values that remain relevant: empathy, patience, and trust. Many fans wrote that this kind of support means much more than 1,000 rhetorical public statements. Until finally, when official clarifications began to ease tensions, the public realized one important thing. Issues may come and go, but the way a person behaves during a storm is what will be remembered. Jungkook is remembered as a figure who chose to strengthen, not judge. Cha Eunwoo is remembered as a figure who chose calm, not reactive. This story apparently does not stop there. It was only after the public began to feel calm that a deeper emotional layer slowly revealed, making many people realize that what happened between Jungkook and Cha Eunwoo was not just ordinary celebrity news, but rather a portrait of human relations under the extreme pressure of the world spotlight. File illustration. Media crowding in front of agency building, without text. Behind the scenes, the pressure Cha Eunwoo was facing was said to be much heavier than it seemed on the surface. His every step was watched, his every facial expression was analyzed. Even his silence is interpreted variously. In such a situation, a single message of support from someone who truly understands what it's like to live under a public microscope becomes an invaluable crutch. Jungkook, who from a young age has known the bitterness of rumors and demands, understands well how an issue can escalate out of control. According to an industry source who declined to be named, Jungkook did not contact Cha Eunwoo just once. He consistently reminded Cha Eunwoo to take care of his mental health, not to read excessive comments, and still trust the legal process and official clarification. No heroic sentences, no empty promises. Just a simple reminder that he is not alone. This support secretly changes the way Cha Eunwoo lives his days. He still comes to the agreed schedule, but with a more steady attitude. The gaze is calmer, the gestures are more restrained. Many are unaware, but those who are sensitive see the difference. It was as if a new faith had sprouted, the belief that this storm could be faced without loss of identity. Picture illustration. Cha Eunwoo in the car, staring out the window with a calm expression, without text. Meanwhile, Jungkook's name is increasingly referred to not because of his musical achievements or stage performances, but because of his empathy. The fans highlighted how he chose not to take advantage of this situation for imaging. There are no ambiguous uploads, no symbols that invite wild interpretations. All done personally. Precisely for this reason, when the news of his support leaked to the public, the impact felt more sincere. On online forums, many fans write long reflections. They talk about how fragile the position of a public figure is, how easily a person who has been adored for a long time is suddenly judged. The story of Jungkook and Cha Eunwoo became a mirror. That solidarity in the entertainment industry is still there, although rarely seen. Time went on, and the issue of tax money, which initially burned emotions, slowly shifted to a more rational discussion. Clarification after clarification appeared, and the tone of the news began to change. No longer judging, but waiting for the end result. It is in this phase that the public realizes that the biggest drama is not the issue itself, but rather the initial reaction that concludes too quickly. Picture illustration. Mobile phone screen displays support comments from fans, without text. Cha Eunwoo, in a limited opportunity, finally expressed his gratitude to the people who kept believing. He does not name names, does not reveal details, but his sentences contain a deep meaning about the meaning of support in the quietest moment. Many believe the message was also directed at Jungkook, someone who prefers to be behind the scenes. On the other hand, Jungkook continued his activities as usual. He never confirmed or denied the news, but his silence actually reinforces the public perception that what he does is not to be known, but because it needs to be done. A form of maturity that is rarely highlighted, yet deeply felt. When finally this issue began to subside, many parties refer to it as a collective lesson. That behind the label of an idol, actor, or global star,